Continuing our tour of interesting historical sites in the vicinity of Ennis, here we are today at the cross of Spancilhill. Spancilhill is about 5 miles from the town of Ennis, and the big fair is held here every year on the 23rd of June, very close to the feast of St. John, on the eve of the feast of St. John. And the word spancil, it comes from the piece of rope that would be tied from the front leg to the back leg of a horse during the horse fair that would be held here, and many of the horses would be tethered or would be tied with the spancil. So huge numbers gather here and have continued to gather here since way back in the early 1600s on the 23rd of June, which is the day of the fair, which is the eve of the feast of St. John. And people come from all over Ireland, and it's one of the most ancient horse fairs in the country, and there's huge interest in it. Very interestingly, this year it more than likely will not go ahead in any shape or form, but it has that long and ancient history. And the other big reason that Spancilhill is very famous is because of the song, or the ballad, and that was composed by a man called Michael Considine, who left Spancilhill in the 1850s, just in the aftermath of the famine, like so many Irish people would have left at that time and emigrated. And he went to Boston and tried to earn his fortune, and used to send back some of his money to his beloved, who was a lady called Mary McNamara. And eventually he went to California, where at the age of 23 he died. But before he died, he wrote the famous ballad, which is Spancilhill, which is very famous in its melody, in its tune, and in the words of it. And it captures so much of the poignancy of so many people emigrating and leaving the country way back in post-famine times. And 3 verses of the ballad are very interesting and capture the theme of what is at the heart of the place here, and it runs as follows. Last night, as I lay dreaming of the pleasant days gone by, my mind being bent on rambling, and to Erin's Isle I did fly, I stepped on board a vision and sailed out with a will, till I gladly came to anchor at the cross of Spancilhill. It being on the 23rd of June, the day before the fair, sure Erin's sons and daughters, they were all assembled there. The young, the old, the stout and the bold, they came to sport and kill. What a curious combination at the fair in Spancilhill. But when my vision faded, the tears came in my eyes. I hope to see the dear old spot some day before I die. May this joyous King of Angels his choicest blessings spill on that glorious spot of nature, the cross of Spancilhill. What a delight it is to be in this ancient and historical site on the eve of the feast or the celebration of the fair, the 23rd of June 2020.